So the problem is as follows. A process is producing glass bottles on a continuous basis. Past history shows that 1% of the bottles have one or more flaws. If we draw a sample of 10 units from the process, what is the probability that there will be 0 non-conforming bottles and 2 or more non-conforming? We're going to analyze this using BlueSky. So to do so, open the BlueSky program, choose the Distribution tab, then go to the Binomial drop-down and pick Binomial Probabilities. We're going to take 10 trials, and our historical process failure rate is 1%. So now you simply click the execute dialog icon. BlueSky will do its thing and produce this table. Right click on the table and tell it to copy and go to your worksheet. Choose a cell and tell it to paste. And you have the probabilities now in the worksheet where you can work on it. So for doing for just answering the questions, we can use the data. For example, the probability of 0 is shown in cell B12. So we could just say equal sign B12. And so we could respond this way, kind of the brute force way. And the probability of 2 or more is equal to 1 minus the probability of 1 or less. So that's one way to get the answer. So this exercise asks us to use the Poisson distribution, and here's the problem. A hospital emergency room is processing emergency patients. When each patient has been treated and discharged, an audit is conducted by a nurse. Every nonconformance to requirements is noted. Even though any major nonconformance may cause death, the emergency room manager wants to control minor nonconformances as well. Such minor problems as incomplete forms, unreadable forms, etc., are recorded during the audit. Past history shows that on average, each emergency room patient has 3 minor nonconformances. What is the probability that the next patient will have 0 nonconformances or 2 or more nonconformances? Now Excel can solve this directly, but we're going to use BlueSky just to show you how it's done. So with BlueSky, choose Distribution, then choose the Poisson distribution and click on Poisson Probabilities. The mean for our problem is 3. That's the historical average number of nonconformances. So we're going to put a 3 in the box. Click the Execute dialog and we'll get a table of Poisson probabilities. Right click on it, choose Copy, go back to your worksheet. Pick a cell in the Poisson worksheet, choose Paste, paste text, and now we have the probabilities we need. So the probability of 0 is in cell B12. So we put equal sign, go down to B12, push enter. The probability of 2 or more is equal to 1 minus the probability of 0 or 1. So the sum of this plus that. And there's your answer, 80%. So in this problem, we're really doing what's called acceptance sampling. We've received a lot of 12 parts from a distributor. We need the parts badly and are willing to accept the lot if it has fewer than 3 non-conforming parts. We decide to inspect 4 parts since we can't spare the time or expense to check any more. Assuming we decide to accept the whole lot if we find 1 or fewer defectives in the sample, what is the probability we will accept a lot with 2 defectives in the lot? So let's look at how to do that with BlueSky. First of all, you go to Distribution and Hypergeometric Distribution, which is over here a little ways. Oh, here it is. Pull it down. We want hypergeometric tail probabilities, and we want the upper tail, so that's the probability of acceptance. We want to know the value or the probability of acceptance if there are 0 defectives in the lot, 1 or 2 defectives in the lot. The parameters we enter is the number of white balls in the urine. That's the number of good parts in the lot. 2 is the number of bad parts in the lot, and our sample size is 4. And when we run this, when we execute the dialog, we get these probabilities. So the probability of accepting if there's no defectives is obviously 1. The probability of accepting if there's 1 defective is obviously also 1, since that's our accept number. And the probability of accepting if there are 2 or more, since it's the upper tail, it's or more, is 0.9090, etc. So that's how BlueSky solves that problem.